Good evening, ladies, as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action. Here we're going to be picking between Priest and Paladin. Now, I've played these classes an equal number of times, and the last video for each class was actually a similarly equal time ago, and I have 23 videos on my channel for each of these classes. So we're going to go for Priest. It was a little bit older, and Priest is a class I've been doing pretty badly with lately, so let's see if we can break out of the rut and get a fresh start. So here we go. We get a Blood Knight. This is really not a choice. These are garbage epics over here. Blood Knight is actually fine. Shadow Word Pain or Shadow Word Death? I think Shadow Word Pain is the more important one of the two. Lightspawn or Northshire Cleric? Let's take Northshire Cleric. It's a really good card. I don't like going for Inner Fire combo, so we'll take the Ooze over the Gnome. Here, we'll take the Argent Squire over the Lightspawn. Lightspawn's a pretty good mid-game card, but with Blood Knight, I think Argent Squire shoots up in value. Panther or Razorfen Hunter is an interesting call. The Panther's more aggressive. This is a little bit more durable. We'll go for the durability over the aggression. As much as I'd like to take a Ghoul here, Holy Nova is a little bit too strong to pass up. This is a garbage pack. Oh my god. We are taking Elven Archer, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's happening. Okay, Holy Fire versus Violet Teacher is an interesting choice. Holy Fire is nice for Priest because it gives you some healing. Priest cards, hilariously enough, don't actually do healing. Like, Priests don't have any healing cards. It's kind of an amusing thing about the class. But, and it also gives direct damage, whereas the Shadow Word stuff, you know, is not direct damage, and so sometimes you can't kill things with it. But I'm going to take Violet Teacher. I think this is just such a good creature. It's such a good drop. It's worth it over the 6-mana removal spell. Alright. We could take the Auctioneer, who doesn't work that well for Priests. Or we could take the Assassin. I can't stomach a Swordsmith. We'll take the Assassin. This is like my third arena in a row playing with him. But there it goes. Okay, let's take the Akanai Soul Priest here. Another great mid-game creature. We can take one of the bad Giants. I think these are both bad. Or the Big Game Hunter. I'm going to make a little bit of a risk. Although I have actually lost some games or come close to losing games to Molten Giants. More often than not, when people play a Molten Giant against me, they end up losing. Like, I have lost to it, but just more often than not, I actually don't lose to that card. So what I'm going to do is take Big Game Hunter. That'll give me an out against, you know, random big things like Ventricle Mercenaries or Giants and whatnot. Okay, I could take a Temple Enforcer, but I think part of the reason why I've not been doing that well with Priest is that my decks have been a little bit slow, and this card is probably just not as good as I think it is. So we could take another Ooze for another 2-drop to have a faster deck, or we can take a 4-drop here. This isn't a premier 4-drop, though, so we will take the Ooze there. Here, I could take this nice 6-drop or a Golem. Let's take Golem. It's a really solid 3-drop. That can help a lot. And now I have a choice between the Acolyte for some more cards or Mind Control. Let's take Mind Control to have an out against anything. And here, the Abusive Sergeant can be good with these early 1-drops, but I'm going to take the Cult Master to try to get some cards. And the Wolf Rider, I think, is really valuable for Priests as like a removal card with direct damage. Do you take the Stormwind Champion here? Well, you can take the Darkscale Healer, keeping in mind it is a non-bow with the Soul Priest, but it's a huge combo with the Northshire Cleric. I think that potential makes it worthwhile to take. Very flat curve here. Let's take an Infiltrator for another 1-drop. And, okay, I can go for Imp Master, but I already have a lot of 3-drops. We'll take the Kodo for some quasi-removal. Novice Engineer for a card drawer and an early body. Here's a very tough call. I mean, it'd be nice to have a Silence, honestly, but passing up an Ogre for it, is that worth it? No, we'll take an Ogre, although I could definitely regret that. Oh, man, I could take another Violet Teacher, or since I passed on a Spellbreaker, we could take Mass Dispel. Alright, this is a little bit insane, because Violet Teacher is so good. But this deck doesn't actually have that many spells in it, if you think about it. So we'll take a Mass Dispel here, since we just passed on a Silence. Darkscale Healer number 2? Sure. And, okay, we have another Silence chance, but since I took Mass Dispel, I don't think I want this Owl. Let's take another Northshire Cleric. And a Shattered Sun Cleric. I don't like the Frostful Warlord. Alright, here we go. We'll take Lightspawn finally. Wow. This is an interesting pack. So, I don't think I want a third Northshire Cleric. Second Lightspawn's fine, but Circle of Healing you gotta consider. With 2 Northshire Clerics, this could be a massive card drawer. And with Akanai Soul Priest, it can be a board clear. I'm actually gonna take it. I think it's actually worth having. The Blue Glue Warrior is nifty, but we'll take Shadow Word Pain for some more early removal. Now the Pine-Sized Summoner versus the Imp Master. How many 3-drops do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But 2 of them don't really count, so I have 4. I think the Imp Master is good enough compared to the Pine-Sized Summoner that I'll take it, even though the Pine-Sized Summoner fit into the curve better. The other thing is that, you know, some of my 3-drops weren't quote-unquote real 3-drops. So to start this arena off, let's go ahead and grab a piece of Trader Joe's Belgian pound plus milk chocolate. Today I went to a candy store. I bought chocolate-covered gummy bears for my girlfriend for Mother's Day, because she is a mom. And I also got Sour Belts for myself. Sour Belts are amazing. If you've never had a Sour Belt, I highly recommend it. So good. And you have to get them at a candy store. You can't like get them at Walgreens or anything. You have to get them at a candy store. They're like these belts of licorice with sour stuff stuck to them. What you do with Sour Belts is you eat them until you get sick. And it's just amazing. Alright, I'm not going to keep light spawn. I think we'll mulligan to try to get a 2 or 3 drop. And we do get a Harvest Golem, so that was an improvement. Turn 1 play will be the Infiltrator, I think, over the Cleric, just because I don't have any protection for the Cleric. No Power Word Shield, and no Shadow Word Pain. So I don't really want to throw that down and have it die to a coined out 3-2. This, of course, the problem is if my opponent plays a 2-3, you know, can't play around everything. But this is useful later. This is really not that useful later, so I might as well risk the Infiltrator over the Cleric. Alright, so the question here is, do you attack with this guy? Well, let's draw a card with my Novice Engineer. And yeah, I will go ahead and attack. So it's quite likely that my opponent was going to shapeshift on his turn anyway and kill this, so I'm going down a card. True, but at least I got a body on the board. And that's fine enough. Alright, he's going to actually coin for a 3-drop, it seems. And it's a Harvest Golem, so he actually didn't kill this, which is fine. Shadowstone Cleric would be pretty great here. Cult Master would also have been really great here. Oh my goodness. Well, all I can do really is play my own Harvest Golem and swing past. I would have considered, you know, 2-for-1ing into this, but it seems like having this pop when it just respawns is silly. Such good chocolate. It's like no matter how much sugar I've had in a given day, I'm always happy to eat this chocolate. So I actually wouldn't mind if he shapeshifted to kill this Infiltrator, because that would mean he's not doing anything else. His Golem would kill my Engineer, but then my Golem would kill his Golem. And indeed, that is what's going to happen. Now at this point, one obvious temptation is to play Northshire Cleric, kill off his Harvest Golem, heal my Golem, draw a card, and play the Argent Squire I just top decked. Problem then is he can shapeshift, use the Golem to kill my Northshire Cleric. But the Northshire Cleric will have replaced itself, and he'll be spending half his mana doing that. Is that better than just playing a Light Spawn and saving this for later? Perhaps to combo with the Darkscale Healer on turn 6? We'll do it.
Is someone injured?
I like the idea of drawing another card. A good option now, as they say, is better than the best option later. There's a Boulderfist Ogre. This could have been a Spellbreaker or an Owl. In this particular game, I'm quite happy that it's neither of those things. Because I don't need any silences at the moment. And I can look forward to this in 2 turns. I have a pretty expensive hand. I'm only going to be playing 1 minion at a time. But I really hope I can play the Darkscale Healer and then the Ogre, and save these to maybe play back-to-back on turn 8. That would help me get all the cards out. If I were to play one of these 4-drops on turn 5, that would slow down my ability to get all these cards out. I'd be basically committed to playing just 1 card per turn for the next 4 turns, which is very slow. So you can shapeshift and use the damaged Golem to kill the Northshire Cleric, but that is half his mana for the turn. So with 2 mana, it's very unlikely he'd be able to play anything that beats this Golem. Now, if he has an Innervate, that's another story. He could, you know, have his cake and eat it. I'm pretty safe from Swipe, actually. This survives Swipe, and this also survives Swipe. He seems not to like his options, which is not that surprising, given that I do have a board of very good minions. He's going to kill the Northshire Cleric via Shapeshift and a Crazed Alchemist, which I'm totally down with. So I can clear his board now, very easily. And he'll hit me in the face, that's fine. Alright, so Circle of Healing doesn't really do anything because I lost my Northshire Cleric, but what we can do is we can do this, this, and because the damaged Golem hit my face, the Darkscale Healer is actually pretty well used here. It heals up my Golem, and it heals up me, so that's fine, and I can drop an ogre next turn. Druids, of course, one of the worst classes in the game at killing big creatures, if they don't already have their own big creature out. And since I'm the first player, it's kind of nice. I basically get the drop on my opponent. I have my 6th turn before he has his, so that's actually potentially very important. Stampeding Coda will kill something here. It's my golem, which I'm pretty happy about, because that allows me to get a creature still on the board. Now, the ogre is a temptation. I have to consider, though, the Cult Master. That would let me trade my golem and my Argent Squire for cards against the Kodo. And I'm delaying my ogre. Is that worth it? Play the ogre, the Kodo dies to save the Argent Squire and the healer. I think it's actually worth it just to get this ogre down, to be totally honest.
I fight.
Kill the creature. Swing. Pass the turn. I just really feel like that was worth it to put this thing down. It was tempting to get the cards on the Cult Master and everything, but you know, if I don't get to draw cards off this guy, then so be it. But missing a chance to put the ogre, I think, was a much bigger deal. I just judged there that tempo was more valuable than card advantage. It's the problem with cards like Cult Master. They are strategically complex in the sense that you can sometimes make bad plays because of what the Cult Master allows you to do. Like, I think not playing the ogre there was a bad play, but the Cult Master's ability like tempts you into making a bad play. And that's tricky. You have to be a really good player to use those cards and not lose to them. Alright, this is not a big deal because I played the ogre, so that's awesome. Glad I got this ogre down. Does he have anything better than Shapeshift to kill my damaged golem? It looks like he's going to Wrath. How is he going to use the Wrath? He elects to not get any cards and just kill off my bigger creature, which is a very fair decision. Alright, now what we could do here is we could play the Cult Master, run this in for a card, and then kill this thing off with the ogre. Yeah, let's do that. I feel like a card is more valuable to me than 2-1. Acidic Swamp Ooze. Okay, let's go ahead and kill off this engine here. And I could play one of these creatures, or I could heal my ogre up. I'm actually going to heal the ogre. Now, the reason I'm healing the ogre is that in this particular circumstance, 2 health on the ogre makes a big difference. It makes him survive Starfire, Starfall, and Swipe. So getting rid of and Argent Commander and random stuff like that. So getting rid of 4 outs against the ogre, I think, is worth it in exchange for not playing my creatures. Now that might have been an arguable play because you might say, well, why not play your minions? You got the Cult Master on the table. Well, the Ooze would have died. The Blood Knight would not have. Oh, Big Game Hunter. Yeah. That's good. I got the beast in my mother frickin' sights. Let's hit him in the face with the ogre. Again, I will heal him again. And do I hold out hope for the Blood Knight? I've already played my own Argent Squire. I'm just going to play the Ooze, honestly. The reason is that it hits as hard as the Blood Knight does. Druids don't have weapons, of course. So if the 2 health versus the 3 health makes a difference, then so be it. But I felt it was worth it to hang on to this in case he drops a Sunwalker or something similarly annoying. So this could have been a giant of some sort. I'm pretty glad it wasn't. It killed Baron Geddon. Man, whenever you get a kill with a Big Game Hunter, it just feels so awesome. And whenever the opponent uses a Big Game Hunter against you, you feel so bad. Because it's like, what are you going to do? Play around Big Game Hunter? It's an epic that people might not even see or draft, even if they do see it. It just seems silly to play around it. So whenever someone uses it against you, it's not like there's anything you could do about it. Alright, so it does make a difference. Because now this Ooze will die. Whereas if it had been a Blood Knight, it would survive. If he had the Shapeshift, he could have finished off the Blood Knight, but then he would have taken some damage. He's going to hit my ogre a little bit, keeping this thing at 4 health. It's almost like he's really trying to set up for a kill there. Soul Priest, so I can start burning out my opponent. But let's not do that just yet. Let's play Light Spawn. Let's heal my ogre. Let's hit him in the face. And let's play Blood Knight. So here is a game where 100% this ogre was way better than the Spellbreaker or the Owl would have been, so I'm pretty happy I made this call because it really helped me win this game, if not won the game for me outright. I mean, the game was going well before this ogre dropped, but he helped me seal the deal. And my opponent concedes. Alright, so that was a good start to the run. I've had just bizarre statistics with Priest. So my last, like, 7 runs with Priest were 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6. Like, I cannot break out of the 4 to 6 range for 7 runs in a row. And this is happening at a time where, like, my percentage of getting to 7 wins is pretty high. It's like 52% since, you know, like December or whenever it was that the arena introduced 12 wins as the cap, up from 9. That was starting to be so long ago that I feel silly talking about like the old era, because a lot of people I bet playing now don't even remember that. Like, it's just, the arena's always just been 12 wins. But yes, there was a time when the arena's maximum was 9, and since then I've had 52% success rate, making it up to 7 wins. And I've actually been doing so well getting up to 7 wins that it's almost made my lifetime stats from like when I first started playing arena, after the account wipe, almost up to 50%. I'm actually up to 49% lifetime 7 wins. So yeah, the Priest is just like, basically what I'm trying to say is that the Priest has been doing pretty badly when I holistically have been doing very well. Alright, so here's the question. Do you coin out the Infiltrator and the Northshire Cleric on turn 1? Or do you just play the Worgen Infiltrator and save the coin for one of these 3-drops? You could also play the Northshire Cleric, risking a 3/2 on turn 2. Alright, we'll do this. We'll do this. This is a little risky because on turn 2 it basically means I'm not going to have anything to do. But the Northshire Cleric stops him from playing a 2/3, and this protects the Northshire Cleric in case he plays a 3/2. So it's an aggressive opener. Now, it turns out he had nothing but Steady Shot. Of course, maybe he had something that he didn't want to play because of the minions that I played. I decided to go for Tempo. And it looks like it's a good thing I did, because I actually drew into an Argent Squire. This Argent Squire is a big, big, big deal. It may only be a 1/1, but it is a big deal to have that on the board, so that was a very good top deck for me. Opponent gets an Animal Companion. He was probably hoping for the Pig, because that would have enabled him to kill the Northshire Cleric. As it is, he got the Bear, which is the second best. So I could throw everything at this to kill it. I don't have a taunt to protect my Northshire Cleric. My Northshire Cleric is sadly going to die. We're going to play Razorfin Hunter. Now, the reason for the Razorfin Hunter is that this maximizes how many minions I'll have on the board next turn for Cult Master. My opponent could have unleashed the Hounds here, which would be pretty bad. Luckily, well, quote-unquote luckily, he has Hound Master, which he hits me in the face with. Not a bad move, actually, hitting me in the face with that, because I can't heal anything, so I'm not going to get cards off this Northshire Cleric. So here I have a difficult choice. I could play Blood Knight and get a 6/6, sucking away my own Divine Shield, or I could play Cult Master, throw everything at this bear, and kill it. Well, how much damage can I actually deal? 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can kill that thing. I can kill it. Get a whole bunch of cards. I think it's actually worth it to get the cards. So let's throw away the Pig first. Card. Let's throw away that thing. Card. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. I'm actually going to throw this thing away. Get a card. I'm going to actually hold out for the Argent Squire being sucked away by Blood Knight. Now, if my opponent has a Blood Knight, then I'm going to be in some serious ass trouble, but that's what I'm going for here. It's good to be the Priest, because as a Priest I can heal myself up from his aggression. He hit me pretty hard with that bear, but he shouldn't be able to kill me too badly. Plays the Blade Master, which I'm fine with in a Steady Shot. Okay, let's see. Is he going to pop off the Divine Shield on the Argent Squire? He's going to kill the Cult Master. That's what I thought he would do, because, you know, you want to kill the Cult Master to make sure that your opponent doesn't get anything good. So now we play Blood Knight.
Glory to the Sindori.
And the disadvantage of this is that I don't get to kill the Blade Master. Maybe I should have just, you know what, that was probably a mistake, folks, I'm sorry. I should have just played Wolf Rider, and killed the Blade Master here. This was a little bit greedy of me.
I fight.
So we'll do that, and I will play the Ooze. I'm not going to play around a, what's his face? Eagle Hornbow. I bet he would have used a bow, Eagle Hornbow, if he had it, and if he has the Gladiator Longbow, then so be it. An Explosive Shot would let him actually clear my board, if he was willing to throw away the Blade Master. Explosive Shot here, kills this, brings us to 4 health. He could still play an Explosive Shot. No, he's got an Animal Companion. Flips a Leok, allowing him to deal 5 damage, and Hunter's Mark on that. Alright, well that didn't actually work out very well for him. as he just himself commented. Alright, here what I think I want to do is play the Shatterstone Cleric,
We must cleanse the sun.
buff up my Ooze, kill the Leok,
I fight.
hit, and let's think about this. I'm a little bit risk for Unleash the Hounds, but I'm going to play the Golem anyway. Because he didn't have it on that one turn where he played the Houndmaster, and that would have been a good turn. I had like 5 minions on the board. Notice, by the way, what a huge impact this Argent Squire made coming down on turn 2. If I hadn't had it around, I would have been in a lot of trouble. He does not have Unleash the Hounds. He's going to kill command my Golem. Oh, he could still have Unleash the Hounds. He could still have Unleash the Hounds, I beg your pardon. Oh, no, he's got an Explosive Trap is what he has. So now, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to avoid the Explosive Trap. Everything I have is going to die. The good news, though, is that because, you know, I
fight.
got up to so much card advantage, I kill. Okay, it's actually not Explosive Trap. What is it? So it's not Misdirection or Explosive Trap, it's not Freezing Trap, it's probably Snipe. So I could snipe the Violet Teacher, or I could snipe the Darkscale Healer. Let's snipe the Darkscale Healer here. And then I can just use my hero ability to heal it back up. A little bit risky, healing my minion instead of myself when I'm at 18 health. But you know, I'm a priest. I can heal myself later. 18's not that bad. He's only got 4 cards. I mean, he's in serious trouble. Look at this situation. The Cult Master was a blowout. This Cobra doesn't really make any difference.
My shield for
Defender Vargas doesn't make any difference. Okay. I might actually be able to win here. Let's take a look. Mass Dispel. Get rid of this. We have 4, 7, 8, 10, 14. I actually do have enough damage, so we'll say well played. He's being very polite. He said well played like 5 times. And I had the Wolf Rider for some extra insurance, not to mention Elven Archer! And that's it. So we get a solid win against a Hunter who did not have Unleash the Hounds, which is always fun. And that is a wrap. So thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you want to help me out. Otherwise, stick around. The rest of the games are coming up shortly. I'll see you in a bit.